And welcome back to the Survive Scale Soar podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy. Today we have a great guest on the show. His name is Joel Medrano, and he's the owner of PPS House Buyers right here in the Houston, Texas area. Joel is also a good friend and also a client of mine through Red Hawk Coaching. And I'm very excited to have him on the show today because I think he's going to share with you some really great things that you can implement within your business. Joel, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, one of the things I like about you is, yeah, you're a great business person, but you're also a great husband and a great father. And we every week I think we talk about your kids and being a baseball coach and being out there and being committed to that. So I think that says a lot about you. Tell us a little bit about baseball.
Yeah, no, it's been great. My boy is 9 years old, and he's all about baseball right now. And the team that we're on, they didn't really have any coaches or parents that wanted to be coaches, so I had to step up. And yeah, I've learned to love it. I haven't really done any coaching in the baseball world, so it's been fun. It's interesting trying to corral 9-year-olds to play baseball. It's a little bit like herding cats, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, past the dandelion stage, but still, yeah, I can imagine it being a challenge. And isn't that how it works? My past life, I was a YMCA director for youth sports. And so we'd have, thousands of kids signed up for all these programs and nobody wanted to raise their hand to coach. So I commend you for that. And here's the thing is your son's going to win because of that. He's always going to remember, hey, my dad was out there and my dad was the coach. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I hope
Awesome.
so. I hope so.
So we're going to get in. We're going to talk a little bit about your business here at the end. I asked you, what can you share with our audience? It's primarily real estate agents, and there's some small business owners too that tune in. What would you like to share? And one of the things was how to be more productive in just your daily activities. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so there was a point earlier this year where I was a little bit scattered in my productivity. I really wasn't focused on the things that I needed to be focused on in my business. And through some coaching sessions with you, you recommended a good book by Brian Tracy called "Eat That Frog," and I read that book, and I was really, really encouraged, and took a lot of the information that he gave and implemented it into my daily work schedule. And I've been doing it here for the last 30-45 days or so, really honing in on what Brian teaches in that book. And man, I tell you what, it's been a massive difference. I went from having those days where you do a lot, but at the end of the day, you felt like you got nothing accomplished. Went from that to more of a feeling proud about the day and the accomplishments that you did during the day, and feeling like you made progress in your life and your business. And those are the days that I want to end my days on, is because it's just so much positivity that comes out of that. And just start to build on those good habits. So yeah, it's been a really great change for me here the last few weeks that I've been implementing this.
Yeah, and I think when you say that, and that's such an honest answer, is that you're not alone in that. A lot of small business owners, I think they struggle with that. They
Yeah.
they feel like, okay, well, I've done a lot, but maybe not the most important things. And so they fill their schedule or fill their day with doing things, but oftentimes it's not the right thing. So you get to the end of the day and you're like, okay, what did I really accomplish? And so in the book, it talks about the eating the frog, and if there's two frogs in your business, to eat the ugliest one first. And so, what did you get from that concept that you've now applied?
Yeah, just really I had a tendency to avoid those tasks that that ugly frog that Brian talks about, and just really just hitting it head on and just going after those difficult tasks. Those are the ones that are they're the ones that push the business forward. If you work on those tasks, those are the ones that'll be the most impactful to the business. And so really taking that to heart and implementing that has been really good for me. And focusing on that, prioritizing my day around those tasks, those tasks that I know if I get done, you know, the business will move forward in the way that it should, the direction that it should.
Yeah, and I think that's true too. Even when you don't necessarily have a result, maybe that day, you've planted the seeds for what's to come. What is the harvest going to look like down the road? Well, it's going to look a lot different if you're doing those activities every day. Um, you know, in the business that you're in, a lot of the things that you're doing aren't going to be today returns. They're 30 days, 60 days, 90 days out. And so it's being consistent in that. Um, what other lessons did you take from the book? So I heard you say the word habits. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, you know, that's one of the things that I looked at and really looked at it internally on what are the habits that I'm doing every day. When I'm waking up, where the things, the habits that are not contributing to my success in my business. I'm just really taking inventory, taking stock of that, and making some changes where I think that some changes could be made. One of the things that I did is I like to scroll social media and that kind of thing, and so instead of doing that, use that time for building my or skilling up, right? So reading books. I'm a big Audible guy. I like to do Audibles in my car when I'm driving. So implementing that into my schedule. And just picking up the good habits that I know are going to be beneficial to my life, both personal and in the business life as well. Um, Sometimes those good habits they're hard to do, but they're necessary, and had to make some changes there.
So you've been working on those habits. At first, it may seem hard because it's counter, it's going in the other direction of where you've been, right? It's counter to that. So have you found it to be a little bit easier as you've stayed consistent with it?
Definitely, definitely. And it's one of those things that you got to just do it every day consistently, and the more you do it, it just becomes muscle memory, becomes second nature, and you get to a point where for me anyway, I look forward to adding on and keep on those good habits. And it's just one of those things that you just kind of have to consistently work at day in and day out.
What's the biggest habit you're focusing on right now?
Yeah, staying focused I have a habit of going and doing these remedial tasks, like these tasks that my assistant can do for me, and I get in the habit of like this, I can do it myself. I'll knock it out. It'll only take me a minute. Well, if I'm doing that throughout the day, in a week, that adds up as far as time, not spent in the right things. And so, what I've been doing is being conscious of when I'm going to start those tasks to stop, record a video for my assistant or bring my assistant in and have her train her on what she needs to do, and then just offload those tasks onto her so that I can continue to focus on the big picture things.
So I heard in there you're talking about awareness of the reflection upon, right? How important is that for you as a business owner or even in life to take the time to pause and just ask yourself those questions?
It's very important because if it again, it's a habit. So like if you don't change it, it's just going to be natural, what comes natural to you for you to do, right? So taking inventory of that, pausing it, bring it to the forefront of your mind. Ask yourself, is what I'm about to do right now something that I need to be focusing on? That's one of the questions I've been asking myself a lot. And, quite often the answer is no. And so when that's the answer, then I move on immediately to the next step, which is, okay, how can we get this off your plate and start working, on that in that stage. And man, I tell you, it's been great. And it's funny is that too, is like, I remember the first week that I did this, I look back at the week and a lot of the things that I was doing when I'm taking inventory of my time, it was just spent on things that someone else could do that really weren't important or things that I should be focusing on. Not that they're not important, but things that I should be focusing on.
Did you find that you were doing potentially some stuff that wasn't important? Was there some things you're like, that just needs to come off the list?
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what I realized is my assistant, they had free time. They had the ability to take on these tasks, and because of the not taking the time or having the mindset of, I'll just knock it out myself. It'll be quick and easy. It should take me 2 minutes to do. You know, because of that, I was stuck in my old habits, my old ways.
Yeah. And I like how you asked that. How does it serve my business? Is it serving me? Is it serving my business? And, you could even go a little bit further. Well, how's it serving my family?
Right.
They're depending on me being a business owner, being successful. How is it servicing them? And when you start asking yourself those questions, you really start to identify and become more aware of those things that are important and those things that aren't. Are, where am I lacking? Maybe what skill set do I need to pick up? Those different types of things. So that kind of leads into time management. So you've got these really important things you've identified that need to happen during the day. Like, how do you manage that with your schedule?
Yeah, so it all comes in preparation. One of the things that I learned is planning the following day, the day before, has been big for me. If you're planning your day at the beginning of in the morning, you're already behind because that's time that you should be spending on those important tasks. So what I've changed in my approach to this is the day before, um, you know, planning the next day and asking those important questions like, what are the things that I need to be accomplishing today that will move my business forward? I go another step forward and you know, Saturday or Sunday, I will write out, I write a question. The next week on Friday, what do I want to have accomplished in my business to where I feel like it was a great productive week? And so I just start writing down tasks, important tasks in different areas of my life, personal, business, things like that. And I just start slowly time blocking those things throughout the week, and that just kind of sets it up. And then if I don't get to it or one task runs over, I schedule it for the following day. But there's a process, there's a planning stage that takes place. And I tell you, it's been so beneficial because for me, I know at 9 o'clock in the morning, I need to be working on this task and I have 30 minutes to complete it. And then, once I complete it, I check it off the list and then I move on to my next task. And I'm time blocking my day to where I'm staying on track for everything that I want to accomplish for the day. And it's just been game changer for me.
Yeah. And before we talk about specifically your business, is you do have people that work for you. So how does that impact them when they're seeing you run and operate off of the schedule?
Oh, it shows that I'm organized, that I'm focused on what I need to be focused on. I made mention to them before I started, like, hey, these are the things. This is what I need to be doing to driving the business forward. I'm setting up this new productivity system. Bear with me, and so one of the things too that my team did is they would come in and just, hey Joel, do you have a second? Or hey, can I borrow you for a minute? And those little instances would just eat up time throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, right? So now what I do is I give them, hey, these are the things. If the house is on fire, come and get me, right? These are, and we outlined everything that if these things are happening, get Joel's attention. This can't wait. But apart from that, uh, I'm gonna have a time during the day where I will block, an hour and a half, and I'll just be available for you guys, and just hold off on your questions until then. And so we've organized ourselves in that manner, and it's allowed them to kind of prioritize what they need to be doing as well, and keeps me on track. Keeps me organized. So it's been very helpful for the team as well.
Yeah, that was, I've managed large groups of real estate agents, and they'd walk. I took the chairs out of my office because they would come in and sit down and say, "Hey, I just need a minute," and 1 minute turns into 30, into 60,
Exactly.
and you look up and like your day's gone. You haven't got anything done, and so a lot of that goes back to something you didn't say it, but you described it was expectations, right? And how is setting expectations with your team? How has that changed everything?
It's been great, man, because now we know, what they're responsible for, what I'm responsible for. It just gives more clarity to the team, more definition to, you know, their roles in the company, my roles in the company, and it's just overall, it's been a positive impact on my business.
Yeah, and I think it shows leadership. Do you feel like as a leader, and you've always been the leader, you're a different leader now. Has that changed the way that they've seen you as a leader?
Yeah, definitely, man. They see that I care about them. That I'm interested in pushing the business forward, and they want to be supportive of that, right? And so, they want to give me the time and the ability to be able to focus on the things that will benefit the business and ultimately benefit them. Because if I'm focused on the 20% that will produce the 80% of the results, you know, the, we're all going to be successful, right? And so they're very much supportive of that, and it's been a game changer for our team.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about your business. So you've got PPS house buyers here in the greater Houston area. Y'all cover pretty much all the greater Houston area. Do y'all go beyond that?
Yeah, just in Greater Houston is where we stick around.
Okay. And you've got a traditional component to your business, which is real estate sales, and then you also have an investor side of the business. Talk about the two of those.
Yeah. So yeah, we have the investor arm of our business, which is buying the houses. Oftentimes, they are quite a bit of disrepair. Sometimes the seller has a motivation to sell it quickly, and they want a quick cash, quick deal. Kind of skip the whole realtor part of the whole sales process, so we can facilitate that through our investment side of our business. And then, we have our own brokerage as well, and so we have the ability to list houses traditionally. And it could be in an as is capacity, or we can also help sellers remodel the house to get top dollar. And so, we really give our sellers, the option to choose which one works best. And there are pros and cons to each one, and we share that with our sellers, and let them decide, what works best for them and their families.
Yeah, I think it's a unique offer to be able. There are people that are in those situations that need the help immediately, and then there's the other people that have the time, and that you have a product or service that can be offered that can service both those clients. I think it's smart. How many years have y'all been in the business?
Yeah, we've been open since 2017. We've
Okay.
been
And how many homes do you think you've done since 2017?
Oh man, been hundreds at this point, quite a bit.
And how do people? So you got on your team, you've got yourself, and then you have, I believe, two sales agents, and then you have an assistant, correct?
That's right. Two sales people and my sales assistant, and have our office manager, and then myself. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Joel, how do people, if they're thinking about maybe using these services, maybe they're in a situation where they need the money quick, or maybe there's been a death in the family and they need to move the house quickly to get additional funding to help with assisted care, or whatever the case may be. Maybe it's a divorce situation and they're wanting to be done with it. Or you've got somebody that wants to go the traditional route of selling their home and marketing it, maybe making a little bit more money on that side of it. How do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can go to our website, ppshousebuyers.com, ppshousebuyers.com. You can fill out a form there, or you can call us. Our phone number is on there. If you want to get in touch with me directly, you can look me up on Facebook, Joel Medrano, and you can just direct mail or direct message me, and yeah, get in touch with me.
Well, Joel, I'm glad to have you on the show today. I really appreciate you sharing the insight and providing some actionable items for agents, even small business owners to implement in their businesses. I think a lot of the things we talked about today could also apply to life as well. And I appreciate you sharing also about your business and what you're able to offer to help people here in the greater Houston, Texas area. And again, if anybody needs more information, reach out to the website. It's going to be on the screen here below. So again, Joel, thank you for sharing with us today.
You bet. Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate it. Been a pleasure.